Hello and welcome to About 6 Acres. I'm Juana.
And I'm Nick.
And it's been a while since we've done a video. Like, I think the last video was a week ago because this week has been crazy.
Crazy storms. Super busy with work.
Yeah.
And some animals' tummies that were not feeling well.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've talked about this before. There is never a dull moment when it comes to the homestead, ever. Maybe when it comes to life. What do you guys think? In a homestead, there's always something going on, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. And just so that you guys know, nothing bad has happened. It's not like we're getting ready to break bad news to you. But we just do have a lot on our plate.
Yeah, a lot of catching up, a lot of extra work to do now that the rain has stopped.
Mm-hmm. So let's take you with us.
We have a load of supplies that we picked up at Tractor Supply. The weekend always calls for, hey, stopped at the hardware store for some supplies for a project. I got some squash seeds, butternut squash and acorn squash, because we ran out of seeds. And so we got to plant these because they worked out pretty well last year. And some mini pumpkins. Can you eat these? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe the goats will eat them because they're tiny. But we like our winter squash. We have some in the freezer. We have pumpkin in the freezer. We ate all the winter squash, so we need some more. This is one of the best all-around minerals for the goats with the copper content, and everything is really balanced, so we're super glad that our Tractor Supply is finally carrying it, because otherwise we'd have to order it and wait a week. So it's by Sweet Licks Meat Maker. So it's for all goats, and they love it. They love it. We have to fill up their bins. I'm getting some supplies ready to milk out Midnight because she did have an enlarged teat on one side of her udder. When the babies were born, we had to milk that one side out so the babies could latch on to the teat, and we got like 8 cups of milk. So that has been doing a lot better and been reduced, but she's had some tummy issues, and I think that's getting adjusted back to her normal self, that she's not pregnant. So hormones, weather, so we're monitoring that teat, and so it's getting a little bit bigger. So we're gonna milk out again, and we're gonna feed it directly to the goats. Mostly we're gonna feed to Twyla, the female, and to Peanut, my favorite. We're gonna get to milking, see if she'll let us milk, and then directly feed it to those babies. We let the babies nurse for Midnight, so we dam raise the babies instead of bottle feed them. But since she had quads, it's hard to feed all 4 equally. So the first 2, Seedy and Jeter, they're the biggest ones, and we weigh them every week. So that's why we're going to supplement with a bottle to Twyla and Peanut, because they're on the lower end of the weight, just to help Midnight out. And I think it helps a lot. So we supplement with extra goat milk that we get. This is the first time that we're going to be really milking her out to supplement. We haven't been using any milk for ourselves. We just, again, are monitoring that teat on that udder and milking out and feeding to the babies when we do. We also are supplementing the babies with whole cow's milk as well, since we want to make sure that there's enough milk production in Midnight that she's going through. But I think what we'll do is, once the babies get up to a certain weight, we can start milking Midnight for ourselves, and the babies will only get supplemental once they're on hay and feed.
While Nick gets everything ready for milking, I'm just gonna go tend to our meat birds. So our meat birds are actually looking really good. They are at the 7.5 week mark. So come Wednesday, we're going to be processing them, weather permitting, of course. And it'll be exciting because it's one less chore in the morning. But at the same time, you know, you're kind of, it's bittersweet. It's never really that easy. But let me show you what they look like now. Here are meat birds. Our pasture does get a lot of sun. Once the sun gets to a certain vantage point, then they'll get some shade off the tractor and they'll come out and hang out. But Right now they saw me coming with water. So that's what they want. I thought I would share something really cool because they are in our orchard, which is our pastured area for them. And when you look at the ground, you can kind of see where they've been. So they went up and then down, and you could see where the grass is so green and lush, and all of their poop and scratching and pecking has really worked to restore that area, but also it gives us, you know, some free fertilizer. And when you look at the areas where they've been the past 2 weeks, you just see how much they scratch, peck, and poop. And so this one side will turn green in the next couple of weeks, maybe even next week we'll see it a lot different. And then this has been the area that they're coming down with. So they've helped us a lot beyond just stocking our freezer. They do help us a lot with the land. I love watching when they're very active because, again, they're doing more of a job of controlling pests and insects. And it's insane when you read like how many bugs they can get in a couple of minutes. When you multiply that by 30 some chickens that we have, it's a lot of good that they're doing. So definitely a good thing. I'm just refilling this. And if you're not familiar with meat birds, they drink a lot more water than like your regular birds. So if you have egg layers, they drink water regularly and they're pretty good about it. But when it comes to the actual meat layers, it's crazy just how much water they drink. So we replenish it quite a bit. Beyond the tractor, which I think keeps them fairly safe from a lot of the elements and also from predators, we also have an electric fence because that allows them to come out. They're not the fastest. So being able to come out and not worry about anything scurrying to them is probably a good thing. And that allows them to really take advantage more of the pasture than just the tractor area. The other thing is that you know, some of the aerial predators, it does deter them a little bit when you have the electric fence around.
Come on, Peanut. Come on, Peanut. Mama's over there. Let's go.
Nick is trying to get Midnight over to the milk stand, but all of the babies came out. They all decided they were going to forage a little bit. So the babies have gotten so big. It's so cool to watch them grow, and yet they're tiny, you know? They're still about the size of a full-grown hen, which I find amusing, obviously, when you see them side by side.
Peanut, we supplement with a bottle, and he takes the bottle really well, and he will drink. And the thing is, when you take the bottle out, he's learned that not to go back on, because I think that's how Mom treats him, is when she thinks that he's had enough on the teat, she'll sort of like move and keep him out of the way. So I think he learned if you pull the bottle out, that feeling of the teat being pulled out, he learns, okay, I'm done drinking. And we check his little tummy. You're gonna need some, so let me milk Mama so you can have some, okay, little man? Yeah, because you attack that bottle, right? You attack it. Come on, Minnie.
It's just so beautiful.
So I milked out the left side udder that's big on Midnight. We got about 5 ounces. So I'm gonna feed that to little Peanut first, since he's the smallest, and see what he takes. And then the rest I'll give to Twyla. And then I'll probably have to heat up some of the cow's milk to give the rest to her this afternoon. But they're looking forward to it. You licking your lips, Twyla? She's ready to go. Baby's gonna be whining because Midnight's out foraging, and Peanut's like ready to go. Ready to go get that bottle. You ready? Hold on there, buddy. There you go. Good job. Good job, little guy. I think he's gonna take it all. Yeah? You're gonna save some for your sister? You know that's Mama's milk? And Twyla's just chomping away on the towel. Whoa, buddy. I gotta feel your tummy to make sure you're not getting too much, huh? But no, feels good? You're doing a good job. It is so good. Yeah, I think you're gonna take it all.
That means I gotta go and get Twyla some food. You like Mama's milk? Mama tastes yummy. I know, your turn is next. He's so cute. He's so cute. He's jumping all over me. He's jumping all over me. You're saying, don't drink it all, little man. I love you too. I think you did it. I think you got it all, buddy. I think you got it. Jeter. Jeter, pushing on my shoe. I think that's it, dude. I just think it's air. Yeah, good job. Good job. It's your turn, Twyla. It's her turn, but we gotta go get some more milk. Right? Can I go get some more? Ooh, ooh, Mrs. Jumpy. I gotta fill it up. I gotta fill it up. That's my finger. That's my finger, girl. Let me go fill it up, okay? Just for you.
I figured I would just share with you a little bit of our next steps. So obviously we have the cute little babies that we're taking care of, and eventually we're not going to be able to keep them all, so we will have to work that part out. But we do need to integrate the herd back together. We are going to go and purchase another one of those doors. We actually ordered it, they just didn't have it at Tractor Supply when we went. And then we're going to add it here so that there's a way to separate them when we need to. But it'll probably stay open most of the time so that the two groups can hang out together, and so that we still have the ability to separate them as needed, and so that they can, honestly, so we don't have to move all of the igloo and everything else around, and we still have the additional feeder. Now, they completely, and I mean completely and utterly, tore apart this Shelter Logic shed. Like, they just shredded it to pieces. So we cobbled something together, and I really mean cobbled. We tried to do as best we could, and so that's basically what they've been using to shield them from the elements. But like, we went today to Lowe's to pick up a couple of items, and it's insane, just the cost of wood. So we're gonna have to be researching that a bit. We'll pray a lot about it, and of course try to have a good plan so that we can save up and compare costs, because I don't know, but you know, it's one of these things that when you do something, you want to do it well. And so I don't want to just have a lot of little patches and fixes. I want to be able to provide them with the right environment that they need to be the healthiest. And right now it's okay what they have, but I mean, it's cobbled together. There are obvious areas where water can get through, and water is not their friend as goats. So working through that. The other part of it is just for their own herd health. We need to get them together because there is a hierarchy with the goats, and you know, kind of like chickens have their pecking order. It's the same thing, and so you don't want to keep them separate so long that that becomes even more of a pain. Last year, when Lucy had her babies, I think we kept them separate for about 2 weeks. We just want to make sure that the babies stay safe. And when they're all together, the big ones don't know their strength, and the little ones can get flung pretty far. But also, you know, we have Poppy and Rosalina that have horns, and even like Lucy the other day had a little bit of a cut here by her eye, and it's just her playing with Rosalina, and they don't realize their own strength. So that's the other thing. That's the reason why we separate them to begin with, but we don't want to keep them separated that much more. So hopefully we'll get that door soon so we can give them the option and make that a little less threatening. And then prayerfully, we'll be able to have the project started for their barn. I'm gonna work on mowing the inside patch in there. Obviously we wish it could just be a dry lot like their main lot, but it's not. So I'm just gonna take the lawnmower and mow a little bit, and then Nick will probably weed eat when he has the opportunity to. But in the meantime, look at those little saunters. So cute. So cute. Just to see if I could get it before and after. This is before some kind of mowing. Well, let's see what I do next.
Lana's got the tough job of mowing the geese area. It is super high, so the engine will cut out if you're not too careful. She's doing a good job. And I'll come in and I'll weed eat the fence line. Yeah, you see where it's just super high and wet, so it'll clog the mower. So I'll have to restart and go slow. And I'll have to get in here because the goats won't eat this that's in the middle. They won't eat that tall browse. They like the trees, but they won't eat that grass. So I'll probably have to come in and trim that with the weed eater and yeah, see how it goes. And then come in the ladies and do theirs. So I'm gonna move some water buckets and some food so we don't get weeds and grass all in their stuff. So keep on it, Juana, you got it. Fucking Mystical rooting you on.
I just finished my style of mowing, which is not perfect. It's not like Yankee Stadium. One day I'm gonna get there though, when I give up my dream of doing a big old circular mow. But this is what it looks like. We got mowing done, weed whacking done. It looks so different, right? And believe it or not, it's not a big space, but it takes quite a bit of time to do. Either way, everybody is much, much happier. 9 eggs today, which is a pretty decent total considering we have 12 laying hens and neither of our silkies laid. So 10 hens, 9 eggs, feeling pretty good. Can you believe that this is what our chicks look like? I mean, they hatched on March 9th, so it's crazy to think that. And I think I mentioned before, but I'm pretty sure we have probably 3 roos. I'm praying it's not 4. But there's one for sure that I think is a girl, and that just kind of makes me happy. This one is the one I'm convinced is a girl. And you can kind of tell because she's got the really pale comb and she just looks very plain compared to the other ones. The other ones definitely look much more showy, so that's a little bit concerning, but we'll see. That's the end of today's video. I felt like we did so much, and yet so much really wasn't necessary to film because it was a lot of weed eating and mowing.
And feeding the babies.
That is true.
So they're all fed. Big ones are all fed. Now it's our time to get fed.
So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
And as always, you're awesome and you're loved.
Until next time.
I'm gonna do one at a time. One feels very heavy.